Okay, let's unpack this. Have you ever stopped to think about a really curious gap, almost a blind spot, in how some truth tellers talk about threats,
Mm.
specifically alien threats?
It's a fascinating area, definitely. And there's this specific observation from a source we're looking at today called the curious absence of alien threats.
Right.
So, our mission really for this deep dive is to just meticulously examine that specific point, see what it might tell us about the logic, or maybe the lack of logic sometimes in these narratives.
So the source kicks off by pointing out how these self-described truth revealers, the type maybe conspiracy theorists, YouTubers covering UFOs, they spend a lot of time focused on fear.
Mm-hmm.
But fear coming from human groups. People in black they talk about, the deep state, that old chestnut, even big corporations, they're painted as the main danger.
And the reason given, why fear them specifically?
Well, according to these narratives, it's because the truth tellers are supposedly revealing the big secret, right?
Yeah.
And these human groups, the deep state, whoever, are the ones trying to shut them down, suppress the truth. So the fear is about retaliation from humans for speaking out.
Right. A very human-centric fear. But then, here's the twist the source highlights.
Yeah.
These exact same people, the ones so worried about men in black, they also describe aliens.
Agrees? Usually.
Exactly, the so-called grays. And they don't just describe them neutrally, they're consistently labeled as, well, evil.
Evil, that's a strong word.
Yeah.
Not just other or unknown, but actually evil.
Very strong. And it's not vague either. The source notes these narratives attribute specific, pretty terrifying actions to them. Like abducting people. Abducting cows is a classic one, too. And even abducting children.
Okay, so abduction, kidnapping, those sound like direct personal threats, things you'd definitely be afraid of.
You'd think so. Which brings us right to the core question the source raises.
Yeah.
The real sort of, moment.
Oh, it just,
If these aliens are described as evil and they're out there supposedly snatching kids, why aren't the truth tellers warning people to fear the aliens?
right. Why is all the expressed fear directed at the human entities, the deep state guys?
Exactly. Why the apparent lack of fear towards the ones actually described as performing these, malevolent acts?
That is curious. So the fear is loudest about the human truth suppressors, not the evil child-snatching aliens.
It is. And the source sort of nudges us to think about what that implies. What does this selective fear tell us about how these narratives are built?
What are the possibilities? Is it maybe that earthly threats just feel closer, more real somehow, even if they're shadowy?
It could be part of it. Maybe a human deep state feels like something you could, in theory, fight back against, whereas aliens feel cosmically overwhelming.
Or maybe focusing the fear on human groups serves a different purpose within the narrative itself, like rallying people against a common earthly enemy.
That's another angle. It makes you wonder about the underlying architecture of the fear itself. What's its real target? What's its function in the story being told?
So just to recap for everyone listening, we've got this really interesting paradox. Truth revealers talking up threats from human groups they say want to silence them,
Mm-hmm.
while simultaneously describing aliens as evil kidnappers, but without directing the same level of, expressed fear towards them, this selective fear thing.
It really does make you pause and think. What this deep dive into the source shows us is this kind of inconsistency, this redirection of fear can be quite revealing.
Right.
It flags something about the narrative's priorities, maybe its internal coherence, or perhaps an unstated goal.
Okay.
So here's a final thought, something for you to maybe mull over. In any story, any narrative that claims it's exposing hidden dangers, hidden truths, why is it sometimes the case that the most explicitly described evil, the really scary actions, get overshadowed by other kinds of threats? What does that tell you about how fear works and how stories shape our focus?